Let me tell you something right now. If you ever find yourself in a hospital at 3:17 a.m. and your nurse starts whispering to the IV drip, leave. Don't argue. Don't ask questions. Just go. I didn't. And that's why I'm here, telling you this story with one eye twitching and a soul that smells like burnt wires and antiseptic. I was admitted to St. Audley's Hospital for what should have been a routine overnight observation. Chest pains. Thought it was anxiety. My mama said I was being dramatic, but the left side of my face was numb, and I figured, hey, if Beyonce can survive Coachella, I can survive a damn hospital bed. That was my first mistake. The ER was empty. Not just slow, empty. No crying babies, no coughing old men, just me, a too small gown, and a nurse with wrists so thin you could snap them like uncooked spaghetti. Her name tag said Nurse Trina, but her voice had the texture of a wet Band-Aid. You're in room 6, she said. Lucky number. I laughed. Tried to be cute. That's your idea of a joke? She blinked once, real slow. No jokes after midnight. Second mistake. I went to room 6 anyway. Room 6 wasn't normal. The lights overhead flickered when I walked in. It smelled wrong. Not like blood or bleach. It smelled like warm pennies and freezer burn, like something had died, been forgotten, then woke up mad. I tried to turn on the TV. Static. I hit the call button. It buzzed once, then hissed, "Don't." "Excuse me." I pressed it again. Same hiss. Louder. Angrier. "Don't." That's when I got up to leave, only to find the door was gone. Not locked. Gone. Just a smooth beige wall where it used to be. Okay, so either I was high on hospital drugs, or I had finally stroked out. I looked at the fourth. The bag was empty, but the fluid kept dripping. Drip, drip, drip. That's when it jumped at me. A black hand, thin, trembling like a broken umbrella, came out of the IV bag, straight for my face. I screamed, fell backward, cracked my elbow on the metal rail. The hand vanished. No evidence, just me, alone, gasping like a fish on a frying pan. I said out loud, "Jesus, if this is my time, just send me straight to customer service. I'm not doing this Final Destination mess tonight." Then, my vitals monitor flatlined. I wasn't dead, but the machine said I was. That's when Nurse Trina walked in. But something was wrong with her now. She didn't blink. Her mouth didn't move when she spoke. "Code black," she whispered, but her voice came from the overhead speakers. "Room 6 is awake again." I said, "I don't know what kind of freaky-ass Grey's Anatomy spin-off this is, but you better get out my face, Trina." She turned and walked into the wall. Not through a door. Into the wall. Like the Kool-Aid Man in reverse. I ran to the corner. Didn't care my butt was hanging out like a Popeye's biscuit. That's when the bed moved. Not rattled. It rolled. Toward me. And on it was me. But dead. Pale. Eyes rolled back. Lips blue. And then my voice came out of the corpse's mouth. "You're the donor." This was always the trade. The body sat up and screamed, loud, piercing, full of my own voice, but deeper, mangled, like it had been chewed, and spit back up. I blacked out. I woke up in another room. Sunlight was coming through the window. Nurses were talking about sweet tea and parking tickets. Everything felt normal. They told me I'd suffered a brief psychotic episode. Room 6 didn't exist. They don't even have a room 6. Okay, cool, fine. I went home, took a break, deleted WebMD, all good, until last night. I got a letter in the mail, no return address. Just a hospital bracelet inside. It read, "Patient, donor room, 6 procedure, successful." Thank you for your body. I ran to the bathroom to calm down, and my reflection wasn't there. Not a mirror, just a shiny chrome surface. I waved, nothing, but in the corner of the metal, someone else smiled, not me. And behind me, the hiss of a drip.
You ever work somewhere so long the walls start to feel like they're breathing? That's the night I found out what that really meant. I was pulling a double at St. Julian's Hospital, clocking into the graveyard shift with an extra large coffee and a heavy sigh. Night shifts in the ER aren't for the faint of heart, but I figured I'd seen it all. You know how that goes until you haven't. It was 2:14 a.m. when the lights flickered. Not the whole hospital, just in Ward C. That's the oldest wing, barely used since they finished the new tower, but lately administration had been talking about renovations. Problem is, nobody wants to work there. Too many stories, too many weird noises. You know, haunted hospital stuff you tell the new nurses to freak them out. Well, tonight it was my turn. The supervisor radioed in. "Can you check the monitors in Ward C?" "System says there's activity in room 309, I laughed. "Ain't nobody assigned in there since January," I said. But I grabbed my flashlight and started heading that way, feeling my sneakers squeak on the polished floor. The farther I went, the quieter it got, like the hospital itself was holding its breath. As soon as I opened the door to Ward C, the smell hit me. Old antiseptic and something coppery, metallic under the surface. Lights above were buzzing, flickering, and the hallway felt wrong. My stomach knotted up, but I kept going. The hospital is my second home. I wasn't about to let some busted light bulbs spook me. Passing by empty rooms, I heard something dragging across the floor behind me, stopped, turned around. Nothing but my own shadow stretching long and thin under those ugly fluorescent lights. I reached room 309, heart pounding a little faster. The monitor was on, the screen glowing green, showing vitals, heartbeat, oxygen, everything, like someone was hooked up inside. Only I knew for a fact that room had been empty for months. I pushed the door open slow. The bed was made neat and crisp, but there were footprints, bare, wet, like someone just stepped out the shower. But it hadn't rained all day. I called out, "Hello? Security? Anyone in here?" No answer, but the heart monitor started beeping faster, flatline. Then, a high-pitched whine like something was being sucked out the room. All at once, the monitor shut off. Cold air washed over me, thick as fog. I tried to leave, but the door slammed shut behind me so hard the glass in the window rattled. My flashlight flickered and died. The only light left was that sickly green from the monitor, now showing flat zeros. Then the intercom crackled to life. It was a voice I didn't recognize, whispering, "She never left." Now, I'm not one to scare easy, but something about that voice chilled me to the bone. I stepped back, tripped over the IV stand, and as I hit the floor, I felt cold hands wrap around my ankle. I kicked and scrambled away, breath coming out in cloudy puffs, even though the AC was busted. Suddenly, I saw her, a patient gown, hair hanging in clumps, eyes wide and empty, standing just inside the bathroom door. Her lips moved like she was trying to scream, but nothing came out. The heart monitor started up again, beeping in time with my pulse. She pointed at the ceiling, and for a second I looked up, expecting, I don't even know, a leak or a light about to fall. But it was just that flickering bulb. When I looked back, she was inches from my face. No sound, just that open mouth, and the cold hit me so hard my teeth chattered. Then everything went black. I woke up in the staff lounge with my supervisor shaking me, saying, "You all right? You look like you've seen a ghost." My shoes were wet, pants streaked with something rusty. There was a patient chart tucked under my arm. No name, just a single word. Return. They say I must have fallen asleep doing rounds, but I know what I saw. That room's been sealed off since. Nobody talks about what happened, but every night at 2:14 a.m., Ward C's monitor blips to life, showing a heartbeat that doesn't belong to anyone alive. And sometimes when it's real quiet, I swear I hear her dragging her feet down the hallway, looking for someone to notice her. So next time you work the late shift, if you hear the monitor in an empty room, don't go checking it alone.